For centuries now, America has been the land of the takers. From removing oil in the Middle Eastern countries to the employment of sweatshop workers for American goods, we have always exploited undeserved or needing populations for our own benefit. As time progressed, we have become an even bigger bully in the world of international commerce and consumerism. American citizens acquire the resources of other countries for sexual fulfillment, health, and cheap commodities. There are more commodities being imported than exported. America rarely makes anything for themselves and is dependent upon other countries to supply us with certain commodities. If you check the label of your clothes to see where they were made, you will most likely see places such as China, Taiwan, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, or even the Philippines. When was the last time you saw a commodity that read, "Made in the USA"? Rarely would you see one. We have got so accustomed to receiving imported goods from China and selling them for a cheaper price than what it took to make it. Imagine spending hours working on a product in harsh conditions and barely getting paid for making it. On top of that, the product is sold cheap to America. These women on plantations and in sweatshops aren't rewarded for the hard work it takes to make a product, but America gets all the benefits. In Cynthia Enlow's article, Carmen Miranda on My Mind, International Politics of the Banana, the women on the banana plantation tend to be given the most tedious, least skilled jobs, those that are most seasonal, and least likely to offer year-round employment, and benefits are only awarded to those who are full-time employees. The women are risking their lives day to day to only get paid $1 to $2 a day. The conditions on the plantation are sometimes hazardous, especially when it comes to the woman having to wash the bananas in a chemical solution, which can result in health problems. The workers are then paid below minimum wage and the bananas are sold cheaply. Some women perform unpaid and domestic and productive labor. The sweatshop workers overseas are barely paid enough money to take care of their families, but yet the commodities they make are sold in America cheap and affordable. One of the world's largest retailers that is responsible for selling commodities and merchandise at low prices is Walmart. Walmart makes their manufacturers lower their price in order for them to be able to sell their products cheap and affordable. Other instances in which America benefits from other countries is through medical and sex tourism. According to Wilson's article, Medical Tourism in Thailand, medical tourism is the flow of citizens from countries with industrial, post-industrial, or oil wealth to medical sites in less developed countries. People travel to Thailand to get treatments such as heart operations, cosmetic surgery, and cancer treatments for a cheaper price. One may think that traveling to a third world country and getting treatment is too expensive, but it is actually still cheaper. The treatments and surgeries overseas are half the price you would spend at a hospital in America. Wilson states that foreign patients account for more than half of the revenue of hospitals. We take part in medical tourism for our benefit, but those that live there aren't able to partake in medical tourism because they aren't able to afford it. America always tends to benefit from those who don't have a lot. Sex tourism is the act of traveling to another country to fulfill sexual desires with sex workers. In Kat Sula's article, Living Like a King, sex tourists travel to places such as Costa Rica or Tijuana to get the sexual experience they aren't able to get at home, known as the girlfriend experience. In this instance, sex tourists travel to sex workers, whereas other commodities such as bananas and clothes are exported to us. Men would travel to places such as Tijuana to engage in paid sexual encounters with female workers. Many of the sex workers choose this life in order to feed their families. Sex tourism is a new form of globalization because instead of having a commodity exported to us, sex tourists travel to the commodity. Once again, America is benefiting from the exploitation of these sex workers. Men don't have to have a lot of money in order to partake in sexual activities with these sex workers. Imagine the only way you can provide for your family is becoming a sex worker. Americans are always acquiring the resources of other countries for sexual fulfillment and cheap commodities. We exploit others in order for us to live a better life and have better resources for ourselves and families. When was the last time or even the first time you thought about how and where a product comes from? For some, I'm sure no one has ever thought about the process it takes in order for a certain commodity to be imported into America. It's just not a concern to many people. Customers are just excited to see that a certain item is on sale and doesn't think about the reason that the item is able to be on sale. There are women in sweatshops working long hours in order for commodities to be sold to America cheaply.